Hello my lovely people, welcome back. Here we are with another just like talking video here. I'm not really gonna be going anywhere. I'm just gonna speak to you guys about a certain topic, and today's topic is, drum roll please, or drum roll please, yes. So you want to know how to sew. I'm basically going to give you guys tips on how you can start sewing if you've been wanting to for a while, but maybe 1, you're scared, 2, you don't know where to start, or 3, you don't know if you can, and all the other maybe doubts or frustrations or what ifs that you come up with in your mind as to why you don't think you can start sewing. Let's just get right into it. The first tip of this is just start. Don't get mad at me, guys. I know it's like, well, yeah, I need to just start. But here's the thing. This is the hardest part to do in literally anything, because it starts with an idea, with a thought. A cue inspires us to want to do something, you know? Maybe you saw someone sewing on social media. It could be literally anything that started the idea. Once you have the idea, you know that you want to do it. But then if you don't start as immediately as possible, what happens? All these thoughts, these are your little thoughts. They're gonna start just and all of these thoughts are mainly going to be negative if you have doubts, or if you're nervous, or if you're kind of beating yourself up because you haven't started yet. That's really where the magic happens, is when you think of something like, hey, I want to sew. And then you take at least 1 step of action towards that, so that you actually start to learn that new skill. So 1 set of action could be buying a set of hand sewing needles. You can start by investing in things that are more budget friendly for you. So hand sewing needles are literally like $1. They're very budget friendly. You can get them anywhere. You could get a little pack with hand sewing needles and thread spools, some little scissors, you name it. I can actually show you guys. Let me get it. Look at this. It has little scissors. It has some other little sewing tools, some buttons, some safety pins, a little safety pin cushion, some thread spools, and a little measuring tape. So this is literally, oh, and the needles, of course. The needles are in here. You can't really see them. There you go. They're in here. This is literally the perfect starter kit, and you can get this for like $5 to $10. It might not be the best quality, but that's the thing, is it's not necessarily about having the best quality items to start. It's just having something to start with, okay? My next tip piggybacks right off of this, and it's really kind of sounds like start now, but this really plays into the part of, oh, I need to learn how to do this first. I need to read 10 books about sewing so I can really know what I'm doing, so that when I get all my supplies, I know how to use them. It's the fact that you feel like you don't have enough knowledge, or like you need to gain knowledge to start first. And I'm telling you that's not true. I know that it may bring more confidence for you, but it's also gonna bring procrastination, because here's the thing. You are never truly ready for anything. You can read and read and read, or fill your mind, watch sewing videos, but until, sorry, someone slammed their door and it scared me. But until you actually get that sewing machine, or pick up that hand sewing needle and put it through a piece of fabric and you start sewing, girl, that is when you're gonna start to learn. Educating yourself is definitely important, but if you're just educating yourself and you're waiting to take action, you're gonna keep doubting yourself, you know? So take action, because right now is your time and you're ready. And you know why I know you're ready? Because you thought about it, you saw it, and it inspired you. And you probably have seen somebody sew, or a sewing machine 100 times in your life before, or just another time in your life. You probably already seen it, but it didn't spark the idea. So the fact that it sparked it now, that's just how you know that now's your time. So let's go. Tip number 3. I swear, I don't know if this is just my fingers, guys, but look, when I try to do 3, it's like crooked. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Tip number 3. Master the basics. Start with the basics. The basics are your best friend, okay? And the reason why I say this is because let's say you have your supplies now, you have your little sewing needle and you have some thread, or you have a sewing machine, right? Now is the time when your mind is gonna wanna sew everything and anything that you can. And it can either be, it doesn't have to be necessarily apparel. Like it can be, oh, I wanna sew myself a whole new duvet cover and some new pillowcases and a new makeup pouch. Like, because now you have this machine that can create literally anything and everything that you want, or even your hand sewing skills. You can sew, you can fix things, you know, there's so many things that you can do with them that your mind is gonna start going crazy. Like you're gonna wanna start doing all these extravagant things. And the thing is, that's totally fine. You can, you definitely can, but do not overwhelm yourself, okay? Because the sewing machine itself can be and look very overwhelming. Same even with a little hand sewing needle and some thread. Like trying to get the thread through the needle the first time for you might frustrate you and just make you not want to sew anymore. Start with the basics, such as sewing straight lines, or when it comes to hand sewing, you can do running stitch or in the back stitch, and then from there just build yourself up. And that's the thing, start from the basics and build up to those big projects, you know. And that doesn't mean that you can't start with a hard project. That's not what I'm saying. The basics are very important and sometimes we can oversee them. But with that being said, do challenge yourself. Don't just only focus on sewing a straight line. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying make sure that you are aware of the basics and that you pay attention to them, and that the basics should be as fun as doing more intricate or challenging projects. You know, they go hand in hand. So tip number 4, tell people that you want to sew. This helps in many different ways. 1, because once you start telling people, you're either telling them, hey, I'm going to start sewing, or hey, I want to sew. But once you tell someone, I'm going to start sewing, they are like, okay, this person's gonna start sewing. So the next time they see you, they might ask, hey, how's your sewing going? And if you're like, oh, like about that, haven't started yet, you know, and that's the accountability. It's gonna push you to want to start because you already told somebody. So now you have to back it up with action, and when you go and hang out with them again or you see them again, hey, Azzy, how's your sewing going? I remember the last time that I saw you, you had told me that you wanted to start. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I actually just got my sewing machine and I was practicing with it and I'm really enjoying it, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. That's one reason. And 2, it also makes it feel like you already started. And that's the thing, is that you want to believe that you can sew, and you want to believe that you will sew and that you're going to start. So once you start telling someone that, it raises excitement in you and it automatically gets you excited and ready to start officially, okay? Whatever the reason that you wanted to sew, that you are already that person, believe it and be it and act it, okay? So tell other people that you want to sew, because the support and talking about it will make you feel good, and it will just get you the courage and confidence to start. Was that tip number 4? I think it was. I really hope it was. Tip number 5. When I started sewing, guys, I wanted to throw my sewing machine across the room. I don't even know how many times, okay? That thing, I'm pretty sure I slapped it because it made me so angry, because I wanted to learn quick. I didn't have patience. These are a whole bunch of other little tips that I actually need to add in here. And I would blame the machine for my problems and all this stuff with sewing. So here's the thing is, if you've never touched or seen or worked with a machine, it may intimidate you and it will frustrate you, and that may be one of the reasons why you haven't started, is because you don't know what machine to get, because they all look very intimidating, very intricate, very just like, oh my gosh, you know, because you look at it and you have no idea what any of this stuff means. Once you learn the basics of your machine, such as how to thread it, you will love your machine, okay? You just have to remember that your machine is what is going to make the magic happen. It's going to help you. It's an ally. It's your bestest friend. So do not be intimidated by it. If you are feeling stuck, if something's happening that you don't understand, look it up. Get help, okay? Do not keep trying and trying and trying to the point where you're frustrating and you're just like, bah, and then you don't want to sew anymore. The thing is that you don't want to push yourself off the rail to where you stop sewing, okay? Because there's going to be times where you're not going to want to keep sewing because it can get difficult, you know, especially if you're learning, if you're a beginner, just like I was. Usually it comes with a manual, and that is your best friend as well. Your machine's manual is basically going to tell you and have all the answers on how to fix most of its problems, because it usually has like a website. For instance, I have a baby lock machine. Let me go ahead and get it. Here she is, my sweet little baby. I have like a manual, and it has a website that I registered for where it has literally tons of videos of little things like how to thread your machine, how to fix the tension, how to get different stitch lengths, everything that you will have questions about. Your user manual most likely will have it, and if not, YouTube and Google will have it, okay? So use those as your friends or somebody who knows how to sew. Step number 5, be patient. This takes time, just like any other skill. With patience, you're gonna be more calm, you're gonna be more confident, you're gonna be more willing to keep learning and growing and keep on sewing, okay? So I know that this may sound cliche, like, okay, I know I need to be patient, but I'm telling you, like, really work on your patience when it comes to sewing, because you don't want to be fighting against the machine, okay? I've had that happen, but it takes time really for like anything. So just always start the process and have patience in mind. Patience is key, okay? That's basically my last tip, but my bonus tip number 6, you can be a complete beginner and start sewing at any age, okay? I started sewing 2 years ago, and I've never sewed in my entire life. None of my family sews except for my grandma, but I never really like took interest in that. Like I did at times, I would look at her and see it, but like I said, I would just have those thoughts, oh, I can't do that. Don't ever feel that way. You can do it, and I know you can. And if you don't have people in your family that have done this before, do not let that discourage you. Be the first one, girl. What you mean? Like, if nobody else has done it, then you be that girl, okay? Let it be an inspiration, and don't let those doubts like, well, nobody else has done it, like they can't help me, or oh, I wasn't born like with these kind of skills or talents. Girl, you develop it. It's all about developing a skill, developing your talent out. You always figure it out. There's always a solution to any of your problems, any of your misconceptions, any of your doubts. Shift your perspectives, my loves, and make this experience enjoyable. But my last thing is on a tip, but it's just coming from me personally, is just sew. Please learn how to sew. If you want to do it, start now. I believe in you, and you believe in you, and I know you do deep down. And that's all you need, okay? You got supporters. It will be so much fun if you let it be fun. And you can start creating stuff for your loved ones, for yourself. Whatever your intention was to start sewing, make it happen. No more excuses, okay? No more letting our fear control us. We control our fear, so we are going to do it. Mic drop. That is all I have for this video, guys. If you want more tips, you already know I got them up my sleeve, okay? I'm like, sleep. Let me know, and I will make more tips for you guys, because I got many more. But yeah, let's end this video with thank you for watching this and taking the time to watch my video. I am very grateful for you guys, and I appreciate it very much. And I'll see you in the next video on Monday. Every Monday, okay? Every Monday. Don't forget. Bye.